Hey, welcome to Cryo Body ReVive's What is Cryo Fat Sculpting? When I first started this business, I asked so many people, "Oh, do you know what cryo is?" And assuming they knew, and 9 out of 10 or 19 out of 20 said no. So, in short, cryo means cold. That's all it means, cold. Cryo has been used for thousands of years for so many different things, including wellness and surgery, and then some child or maybe a couple children were sucking on popsicles, divots formed in their mouth. I don't know if their parents were doctors or scientists, but they wanted to figure out what it was, and they figured out that the cold causes white fat cells to die easier than the rest of the cells. So what was happening was they were sucking on popsicles and some of their white fat cells in their cheeks were dying. And from this information, a whole industry was born on fat sculpting with cold. So the beauty of it is that the fat cells, they're designed to protect the body. The fat cells, I would guess when you're going out in the cold, then they're dying first to release energy to protect the rest of the body. And we're using this science to get fat removed where we want to. So we are working with the body. We're actually doing, um, getting a measured response from the body. So cryo, so that's cryo. And then we've got all sorts of different kind of cryo fat sculpting. We've got cryo fat blasting, which is Cryo Body ReVives. We've got cryo, what is that? CoolSculpting, which is the most advertised, most well-known because the owner of that device provides a lot of the med spa products. They give a discount to on the supplies if they do CoolSculpting. There is CryoSkin. That's also a well-known, not as well-known as CoolSculpting. And their tagline, their trademarked name is CryoSlimming, all one word. And then there's also, let's just go ahead and talk about laser lipo too. I had a client recently who wanted to learn, know the differences between laser lipo and cryo fat blasting. So we're going to talk about that also. So first, we're just going to talk a little bit about the modality and how it works. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And we're going to go share screen. Right. And so here's my matrix showing about that, and we'll kind of go through that. But first, let's go ahead and look at what the different modalities look like. I feel like a picture is worth 1,000 words, so not Zoom. So this is, well, let's not start with, okay, so this is what cryo, some goo, and they're moving across. Now, I've never used this. The people that I know that have both the Casen, which is cryo fat blasting, and the CryoSkin, which is this, they use the Casen for the fat reduction. I wonder, like, you need to get to a very specific temperature when you do the cryo fat reduction. I'm not understanding how this process gets to that. So, all right, let's go. Let's see. Let's go. That's CryoSkin. Where's CoolSculpting? Here's CoolSculpting. So maybe this one's CoolSculpting. Now have what's called a CoolSculpting Elite. So now instead of just doing one area at a time, they can do 2 areas at a time. Based on my reading, please do all your own research. This is just what I'm finding from researching. And so the pricing I'm seeing here is you've got $5,000 in our area that is for three treatments on 3 different areas. So a total of 9 areas. And that's on sale, normally $6,000. I think that comes out to $555 per area per session. Go ahead and do your own calculations on that. And then we'll go to the laser lipo. So let's go. Let's go. All right, so this is kind of the before. They're looking at that. They're showing how they go all the way through it. This is an invasive procedure where they're damaging or reducing, damaging fat cells and then going and suctioning them out. So to me, this looks like this is the, again, Google this, search on YouTube all you want. This is the after, it looks like. Again, of course, there's going to be a lot more side effects, much more bruising, there's cutting involved, and much more an immediate results in the cryo. So the cryo, what happens is gets to be the fat cells die and then the body removes them naturally. So there's a small percentage of people, at least with the cryo fat blasting, which is what I do, that get immediate results. Small percentage, definitely don't set that expectation. Maybe 6 sessions. Well, we can talk about that more. Cryo fat blasting, you need at least usually about 6 sessions for quality visible results, picture worthy. Let's go ahead and look at the cassette. So I will talk about my understanding of cryo looking at this. So with Cassen, with cryo fat blasting, by Cryo Body ReVive, you're using a Cassen, which is spraying a cold spray. You can see the temperature right on the device. You can see the skin temperature right on the device, so you know exactly how cold you're getting it at every single spot. And it's really interesting how you can go 1 inch over and it takes it a lot longer to cool down. And that may be because of an organ, that may be because of other things. Let me go and see. Well, here we'll do this one. Maybe because there's organs there. Some, who knows what. You do the sides; they go very quick. The tummy, its core, that takes longer to get down. This is very quick because of the blowing. It's dropping the temperature very quickly. Areas can be done in less than 10 minutes. In fact, let me see if I can find the other picture, the other video. Let me get rid of this one. And let's see if we got this one. Oh, no, we don't. So we're just gonna close that one. And let's see if we see. Nope. I thought we had that video. Maybe we don't have that one up. All right. So at a very base level, you kind of have an idea of what the different modalities look like. So we're going to look at the differences between cryo fat blaster using the Cassen. Now that's with Cryo Body ReVive in Tampa Bay, Florida. There's CryoSkin, who has the trademark of CryoSlimming. There's CoolSculpting, which that is their trademark, CoolSculpting. And then we're just going to talk a little bit about Sonobello, just because I was recently asked about that, which is a laser liposuction. Now, again, do all your own research. This is just, I know about the cryo fat blasting because that is what I do. I have not tried or actually done the other. I've talked to many of my clients who have done CoolSculpting. And so I do know a little bit about it, but it changes. So what I found for West Tampa Bay is, okay, so treatment times, cryo fat blasting, Cryo Body ReVive. Treatment times are usually under 10 minutes per area. I've actually done 3 areas in 11 minutes. I have a video of that. That's the one I was trying to show you. CryoSkin, the Cryo-Slimming, 24 minutes for one area. CoolSculpting, 35, they say down to 35 minutes for the CoolSculpting Elite. Sonobello, you're going to be there for 2 hours to 3.5 hours. It's invasive. It's a one-time thing. They're cutting, they're removing. So completely different process. Downtime afterwards, of course, cryo fat blasting, cryo skin, and CoolSculpting. No downtime. The CoolSculpting, you can have some nerve pain, bruising, because they use suction, which is much more abrasive, much more is the one of the cryo modalities that does cause trauma to the body. With the laser liposuction, must take 2 to 3 days off of work. I did see a review where one lady had to take a full week off and was not very happy about it. And then you'd still need to wear compression garments for 4 to 6 weeks. Based on my reading. Okay, the max number of areas per session. So cryo fat blasting with Cryo Body ReVive can easily do 3 areas in, that plus the prep process and the lymphatic support, about an hour. Otherwise, I've had one person come in one area, in and out the door, 17 minutes. So it is possible if you're not doing the post lymphatic support. Cryo skin, you've got, where were we at? So one area each time. With CoolSculpting, looks like the CoolSculpting Elite can do 2. I'm not sure where that special said 3 things, so maybe they can do, I don't know. The Sonobello laser lipo can do many areas. Again, invasive, go in, cut, suction. And then instructions. CryoSkin seems like it has the most, one of the most instructions. I've heard from a client that they say, like, no sugar, so they don't want you eating any bread, any pasta. I mean, if you're detoxing or getting rid of inflammatory foods at the same time, yeah, you're going to get even better results, right? So the pricing is so interesting. So in Tampa Bay, so one session, cryo fat blasting, $350. Try not to intentionally put it high so that we're not selling one session, because we do not set the expectation of getting results in one session. So CryoSkin, they say $915 for one session. I got that from Groupon, where they have a special, and then let's talk about the introductory offer at the same time. So Kasen, cryo fat blasting, and Cryo Body ReVive, we have specials that range various prices. One area usually is under $150. 2 areas under $200. Right now it's $111 for one area, $166 for 2 areas for the introductory try it price. We love people to try it before they buy a package. And then our packages for one area are under $2,000 for 3 areas. One area of 8 sessions, which is eight sessions, so ends up being don't have that number. I'll talk about that number later. But $4,000 for 8 sessions of 3 areas, or 24 areas total. So that ends up being, I believe, under $150 per area per session. The CryoSkin, $915 for one session. I could not find any packages online, but on Groupon they do have a special for $99 to try it. The CoolSculpting, they look like $750 for one small, based on quoted original price on Groupon, $1,600 for the larger application. So let me explain how that works. So CoolSculpting, one area is only as big as the applicator. With the cryo fat blasting, we do the whole abdomen is one area. The Sen cryo fat blasting with Cryo Body ReVive, the entire front of both legs is one area from, not legs, thighs, from the knee up on both, where on CoolSculpting, you're getting only one leg and only as big as the applicator, and that needs to fit on the skin in order for you to be a candidate. They have specifics about BMI, certain areas can't be done. And then the laser lipo, they can do, of course, just about any area. But what I'm seeing is they're between $2,500 and $4,500 per for one treatment for many areas. It all depends on what your plan is like. One of the reviews said they spent like $15,000, and obviously I came across some in the Better Business Bureau where they just were not positive, but every business, I'm sure you can find something negative by someone. So overall, the ratings were over 4.0, so not all bad, of course. So when do you see results? Results. That's what everybody wants, is results, right? So 3 days to 3 weeks would be Cryo Body ReVive with cryo fat blasting. About 20% of people notice a little bit of a difference about 3 days later. There's a small percentage of people that get 1, and a couple days later they're seeing 2 inches. They're seeing noticeable picture-worthy curves difference. In fact, our lead trainer decided to go into this business because she had such great results, and I have that picture. But 5 to 6 sessions when you're starting to see picture-worthy results on almost everyone, and then there's always exceptions, and I can fully explain that. You want to come in for a consultation. We are working with the body. In the end, the body gets to decide, and there are specific reasons why the body will hold on to fat. I've investigated that very deeply and come to a lot of conclusions by working on hundreds of people. So the white fat cells, they are protecting the body. If the body decides that there's some trauma there and it needs protected more than the fat cells dying to protect it, that is the body's choice. Every body is individual and different, and the body gets to choose. That's why some people have completely different reactions to medications and everything else, right? Okay, so CryoSlimming, the CryoSkin, they recommend 6 to 8 sessions. The CoolSculpting, they say 6 to 8 weeks for most noticeable. And then the laser lipo would be something that'd be pretty immediate. I'm sure there'd be swelling and stuff initially because of the trauma. So you'd have to wait till, quality results, probably not until you're done, the real results until you're done with the compression, which is 4 to 6 weeks. Frequency, cryo fat blasting, a Cryo Body ReVive. You do it weekly. You can actually do it once every 5 days. Is possible too. Just easier to do it once a week. CryoSkin every 2 weeks. CoolSculpting, I'm hearing 6 to 8 or 4 to 6 weeks. And then Sonabella, you're doing it, once or twice. I did see someone where they went back and did it again. I'm not really sure what that was about. So is it painless or is there pain involved? So it is completely painless for Cryo Body ReVive's cryo fat blasting. It is CryoSlimming. Yes, it is painless. CoolSculpting, there is I have the side effects listed, but there is some people get bruising, some people have very painful nerve issues. That's a small percentage, but I do have one of my clients who talked about it. So I do know it exists. And then, I mean, laser lipo is going to be invasive. So they're cutting, so you're bruising, you're bleeding, you know, it's going to be a little bit more customizable. So Cryo Body ReVive's cryo fat blasting, you can, you know, because you're spraying, you can get in the armpit, you can get really anywhere, and you can focus as results are happening. If there's one area that's less, a little more stubborn, a little bump somewhere, let's say there's a tummy tuck done, then there's a little fat bump here or whatever, soften scars, can reduce and soften stretch marks, can really focus on wherever that fat bump is. Very, very customizable. CryoSkin looks like it's pretty customizable. I believe that there's certain areas probably they can't do. CoolSculpting, you are limited to the suction, the thing that adheres, and then with it has the suction, and then the Sonabella, of course. It says it's somewhat, it sounds like it's pretty customizable wherever they feel comfortable cutting, I guess. And let's just talk about scars and stretch marks. Cryo Body ReVive actually can reduce scars, soften scars, so they're less noticeable, where the Sonabella Lipo actually causes some scarring. To my knowledge, neither CryoSkin or CoolSculpting reduces scars. Skin rejuvenation, Cryo Body ReVive's cryo fat blasting definitely does skin rejuvenation. Also cellulite, Cryo Body ReVive does the best on cellulite. I honestly don't know anything about the lipo, what they do for it, how maybe they do really good at cellulite, not sure. But I do not believe they do any kind of skin rejuvenation with their process. So I guess the biggest thing, let's look at the side effects. So side effects. So there may be some redness, just like when you're out in the cold. People with very light skin can get some redness for a couple hours. With the CryoSkin, some redness, tingling, and some numbness. And then with the CoolSculpting, you have irritation and pain and uncommon side effects where fat cells grow bigger or bruising. There was some they had some legal issues with somebody suing for that. Pain that starts several days after the treatment and usually resolves when the numbness goes away. And I think that's the gut. Got a lot of trauma going there with the suction. So my guess is it's impacting the nerves. But again, do your own research. You know, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an esthetician, and I have never done CoolSculpting. Just kind of thinking through logic from my limited knowledge. So scarring and changing skin color can happen, reduce movement or response of the tongue following procedure involving the neck and chin. And then, so of course, the biggest side effects are going to be when you have something fully invasive. So swelling, bruises, and redness, scarring, tenderness, contour irregularities, advanced reaction to anesthesia, infection, prolonged swelling, uneven results. So of course, some of them are going to be more common than others, so do your own research on that. They say take 2 to 3 days off of work and compression garments for 3 to 6 weeks. So that is like the overall thing. So if you ever have any questions, you can call or text Cryo Body ReVive 727-470-8341, 727-470-8341. Our primary email was having significant issues with bouncing back with Gmail and a couple other email providers. So we are looking to change our primary email but we will always be checking cryobodyrevive@gmail.com. Doesn't sound as professional, but we will get the email, and it is reliable, cryobodyrevive@gmail.com. You can find out all our current specials by going to Cryo Body Revive at, cryobodyrevive.com. If you would like to see some of our before and after pictures, let's go ahead and do that. So let's go. So that's my hand before I started cryo. After, so there's some sessions. That was 5 sessions. Great job with cellulite smoothing, skin rejuvenation, fat reductions. This was 6 sessions of 3 areas. This is a lovely lady over 65. That was 5 sessions. Can do any area. We also do butt rounding. You can't really see that picture. But we have a better picture of that too. Face rejuvenation, hair rejuvenation. We have compression pants. The spraying of the cold is fabulous for inflammation reduction. So we also do some of that. Let's see if I have some of the more pictures in the before and after. We have going on the website, you can see the before and after. I need to update it. We actually added an extra step. So there's a prep step, which is increasing our results overall. And then these are all before we added that step. Even our longtime clients who obviously loved their results originally are stating they can noticeably tell that they're getting even better results, but also the cellulite, the bumpiness, smoothing so much more quickly. So there again, that's, so here's some of the, there's one of them that 1 session, 3 days after that, that's how much of a change. She's the one that ended up deciding to go ahead and open a spa. So here's the butt rounding. You can see women get thicker up here. The square, the tush gets a little more square just by sculpting around it. It can look much younger and firmer. This lovely lady said that she had always had stubborn fat in the stomach that she could never get rid of. She didn't even, she spread her appointments out a lot longer. Didn't know she really noticed anything, but when you take the picture, clearly some results happened. Again, this lady over 65, somebody who did, she did just 3 sessions on the arms. She did work out at the same time, but she was saying before that she worked out, she just still couldn't see the definition as much. She was very happy with the results. So thank you so much. So happy that my privilege to bring you this information. If you ever have any questions, again, phone, text, call, text anytime, 727-470-8341, located in Palm Harbor, Florida. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, evening, week, year, and all. Take care.